Hello there, great person, and welcome back to Let's Watch Some Orb, a movement of the Earth. I do have high temperatures here, so no to the complete suit today. Anyway, we'll just start episode 7. It's called Regarding the Truth. We will see what the truth of the world is, and I can't wait for to dive into this. We do have Bandeni, I think his name is, as a new character. Let's see where it goes, how he will interact with the people, and with Oichi. You know who I mean. And let's just dive into it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the reaction. Also, don't forget to check out my web novel. And we do have the incentive for having both Pulla, Madoka, Magica, Magi, or whatever it's called, or Code Geass on the channel. And if you want both, like the web novel, if we meet the stretch goal, we will indeed do both on the channel. But without further ado, let's start, have some fun with ORB, and discuss some ideas here. Let's go.
Doch ich frag mich, wer wir sind.
So, who are you? I don't know who this boss is from, but... Oh, Yolanta. Okay, so we do have a new character. Is she a nun? Might be. Yeah, I guess she will listen in? I don't know. What are you doing, though? Oh, that looks nasty. What did you do? What is she doing? Into the well. That's why her hands are like that. That must hurt like shit. So there's a secret tunnel under the well. So she probably will listen into the lecture here or something. Yep, she is doing that. Okay. So what is her purpose here? I'm very curious to see what they are discussing here. Arabian heretics, okay. The thing is, I like that because we do know that, or it's not funny, it's actually sad, but the more Eastern research that was done, like for example from Arabian countries, from China as well, that is pretty unknown to the Western society, I would say. And there were several discoveries they made that resurfaced later in our part of the world, let's say it like that. And I wonder how much we don't know yet as well, because I've heard that Chinese medicine is very different from ours, and I don't know how the empirical data on it is, because I don't think many people research that. So it is still a debate whether it's more esoteric or real science and medicine, and I really find that interesting. So very cool that they address that. There is, by the way, an atomic model from a Japanese dude called Nagaoka, and he did propose a planetary system in 1904, so basically around the time Bohr proposed his model, and I find that interesting as well. It's like, you know, if something has been thought up once, it can be thought up again. Now, I just wonder why she's listening in. Is it science again, or is it another drive? She's quick. I mean, she went out of there quickly. Shouldn't there be signs? That's funny, though. Why would you, though? Why? What's your drive exactly? Oh, okay, so they would give her a chance.
君は我々とは明らかに
Okay, so is it the sex or what is it?
コルベさん
Kolbe, who are you?
ええまさかヨレンタ君が助手につ
Okay, so she's an assistant.
助手が優秀すぎるのも扱い
Haha, that's cool that he's backing her up here. Why though? I'm very curious to see where this goes.
全てを否定する輩と出会うかもしれない。
Yeah, that's how it is often in people.
自分のやってることを信じて進むんだ。
I mean, that's quite a beautiful message. I do think that the thing is, prejudices are an evolutionary thing because it is rough categorization to sort out potential dangers quickly in stress situations. And if you actually think about them and reflect on them, they are pretty easy to disregard, actually. So it's like I often read that stereotyping and stuff is very, very dangerous. And yes, obviously it can be, but it's also easily done away with. That is also something that people have found empirically pretty reliably. So yeah, but it's the thing. Like there, you can be what do you say? Disadvantaged by others because of so many random things: hair color, height, eyesight, sex. All these things that might like all these surface level, let's say surface level properties that you can use to derive overly broad statements, and that's easy to do for people. It takes not a lot of mental resources, and I don't even mean that this derogatorily. Actually, like it's just like literally that. Like it's the same way as why would you get out of bed if you could still lie in bed and have a good time? Like it's just it preserves energy. Like it's from an energy perspective, so to speak, it's the better way, the easier way. But as we have developed higher cognitive functions, we also do circumvent these more easy ways. That's also why we can move against procrastination, which is the same mechanism in a very rough sense. So
終わりだ。私も可能な限り支援する。
I don't get exactly what their relationship is. She's an assistant to him, but what is he?
一応完成しました
So treaties, they're doing treaties. So is he a nobleman? Also, she can ride. That's pretty amazing.
できてるよ。まだ若いのにすごいな。
Yeah, it really is. She reminds me a bit of Raphael, and now I'm sad.
ピアスト博に
But will he take your credit? That's the question I would ask here. Will he take your credit?
図書館から晴れて天文台勤務だ。
Okay, so she's working in the library. She's a library assistant. Why would she do treaties? I just don't have the background knowledge, I guess. At observatory, I mean, we know what that is. So, does she want to go there though? And she's a pious woman as well. She believes in God and asks him stuff. So, and is afraid of him, her, it, whatever. I don't trust this dude though.
惑星の中心は太陽で
Yeah. They're not though, but that's a good first try to, yeah.
独創的な発想であり
And that's not true as well. Like the planets don't move at the same speed because they're on ellipses. If they were on circles, they would move the same speed, like by mathematics. But because they're on circles, they indeed do move at different speeds, very slightly though. So you would average that out and say, yeah, it's a circle, and then you get exactly what he's talking about.
いや限界だ
On the threshold. Yeah, he did have a brilliant mind.
の発想でやれることは達成している
That's true.
には達していない
Why though? And what did they overlook?
言葉選びの白深さに比べて根底
And what is that? It's funny. That's cool, man. Yeah.
に大胆な度胸を併せ持った
I like that he really thinks about how to make this argument very sound. He's not, because you could convince people on an emotional and spiritual level, and you can convince them with arguments, and some people you can never convince as well. And I do really like that he is a calculating, not negatively, a calculating man more than an emotional man, I think. And that's a very good approach for him. I really like that.
だろう
そんな人どこに
Yeah, of course, it's me. Yeah, I was about to say exactly that he's going to say that. That's funny. But it's me. Of course.
君はそれを頼みに来たんじ
It's so funny. He didn't even know. Yeah.
ゃでは今後のことで3つ決まり
Three conditions. Let's see. No successors.
できなかったら私の関わった書物すべてを
Interesting. That's why.
私がこれを完成発表する
Okay. A bit of a vain streak you've got going here, I guess, but yeah, I guess I understand. You want your name in the history of the world.
観測士としてこの研究に参加してくれ
Yeah, I guess that one is right because he's got better eyes. He's got a lot better eyes. That makes a lot of sense.
分け前は9対1
I mean, why not? It's probably going to be a lot. Huh? What?
いや確か
I see, yeah. Oh, yeah. Poor Doki.
気が生じた場合ポト月に1割は
It's interesting that they want to make profit from it as well. And that is the question. If you can both publish it and make profit, why not? But if you have to decide between publishing something and making it available and profiting, I don't know. I would probably almost always not profit. And I'm not just saying that because, like, everything, for example, I did write, for example, my web novel, I did make that available for free. Like, I could have asked people to pay money. You know, for example, let's take my horror stories or the story I'm currently publishing, the fantasy one. Like, I could have been like, you know, it's a cool story, but I want, I don't know, €2. €2 for every book. And I do think it's fair to do that if you put money into it, a lot of money, like, for example, correcting and stuff. But I do think if you're like, yeah, I just want people to read it, I do think that's also beautiful. And I always did that. I am unsure if I will always do it, to be honest. But I'm like, no one's gonna buy my books. I know that. Like, who would buy that? So I'm like, yeah, perhaps someone will try them out if they're for free. Which is also, by the way, funnily, I do think it might be a folly because some people are like, if it's free, it's shit. I've actually done research on that. We did have, for quantum physics, we did develop several courses, quantum computing, and for industry in Europe to train people to be able to work on quantum computing, quantum communication, quantum sensing. And we were tasked with doing that. And because it is for an EU project, we cannot take money for the courses because it is funded by the European Union. So, I mean, they fund it and we make it available for free with the same thoughts in mind I just laid out. And actually, people from industry were exactly like that. They're like, if it doesn't cost anything, it is probably shit. Because in industry, you're used to things being like costing something. And I kind of get that as well. So, yeah. So my book's not shit. That's not why it's for free. It's just because I think I want people to be able to enjoy it without paying anything for it. You know, that's why I do it. I do think it's probably like, I've been asked for my horror stories to be put into print several times by people online. like the channel that reads my horror stories, and they in part have more than 100,000 clicks. And people are like, yeah, man, I would love to have a book where they are in so I can read them. And I'm like, yeah, might do that one day. I might actually really do it one day. I just don't have the time and money as well for editing. But I would, I don't know, perhaps I will do that one day. But right now it's like, at least someone will read it. You know, it's my very low hanging my ambition. But if you have higher ambitions and because I sometimes am not that, I trust myself not that much in succeeding stuff, which is interesting. But then he does, like, he thinks he will succeed probably. So people like him indeed would take profits more. Like, I do think it's a character trait as well, and I do think that's cool because it very well fits his not hubris, but it would be hubris if he fails, I would say. But his ambition is very high here, and he's very full of himself. And he's like, yeah, fuck, that's not gonna give Potoki anything. No one knows who that was.
これでもう書いてない。では
With that settles, let's return to the village. That's funny, man. That's so dark. He probably still knows it. But then he knows it as well, by the way. I do think Potoki will come up again. He has to.
やっぱり守りません。
Yeah. Why not?
から消えたぞ。
It no longer exists. Oh man, I was about to say, just because it doesn't exist, you still remember it. In the end, you don't even know if things you remember still exist, even if you're pretty sure. Yeah, like, is the world outside your window still there if you don't turn your back to it? If you turn your back to it? Because you just remember it and you assume it's still there, and it's very likely, obviously. I mean, I'm not kidding here. I'm not kidding you here. But it's that, like, it's a philosophical question. Like, is the world behind your back right there right now, or is it just there? You would just assume it because it's a good model again. And if you assume it, it fits very well, and you can work very well in the world. So memory is actually all you have, save for the momentary sense imprints, so to speak, sensory imprints.
今ここにいない人の思いを無視したら。
Yeah, that is true, but you will still carry it on. So don't know.
あ、聖書以外の歴史など私は気にし。
But you did say you want your name in history's paraphrasing, of course, but I like that. Will he do that? Probably.
今の我々は地獄の入り口に立った。
That is a very good question.
だが、天界のだ。
Yeah, if you argue it correctly, you can argue that you're at the gates of heaven. Oh, hi, Novak.
心安らぎました。お父様も出張。
Okay, so she's Novak's daughter. That's fucked up. Interesting. I will recognize that was anywhere. That voice actor.
仕事があるので。
Interesting that she's a heretic as well.
正直、周りとの差は。
Yeah, there is.
そもそも研究に参加させてくれま。
Interesting that he would let her do that. Because he might still try to honor Rafal. Will you see Rafal on her?
働けているだけで大し。
It's interesting that he's like that. So interesting that she is paroling Rafal, the one he killed.
しょうがないことさ。お前はまだ。 しかもお前は言う。
I like that he honors her as well. Yeah. Those things worried people back then.
それと学術研究とは。
That is true. And it's, by the way, one of the stereotypes they did most research on. I do think it's the stereotype girls can't do math. Many girls do think that. And if you go into a room full of girls and you tell them that's a lie for 5 minutes, it will disappear. And I'm not exaggerating. They did it. They did that. And they replicated it. So 5 minutes is all it takes that will do away with that prejudice that you have, that you believe about yourself as well. You know, that's important. And if you do away with that prejudice, actually there is no difference in math between girls and boys. There isn't. So everyone who says it probably just talked a lot of shit to I don't know, young girls, probably. So
ことは一つだ。
believe in the Lord. Okay.
栄光を目指すな。
Why though?
粛々とつつましやかに暮らせば。
Yes. Interesting. Does he really believe that though?
私の心は学者です。
Interesting conundrum he has here.
発展も人生も
He probably is afraid that the truth is not what people think God wants. I'm interpreting here a lot, obviously. He might not, but because I just see Raphael here, I can't help it, and he knows that probably, and I really like that they do that to him. There are times you can't back down. Holy shit, man. And he's praying. Holy fuck. Yeah, he knows.
お前ももう立派に自立。
Yeah, because with 14, I think you're grown up.
応援するよ。
Is he, though? Man, that's so interesting. I can't wait for this plotline. I mean, are we not supposed to know that there's no work? I don't know if that's like... Ooh.
ください。
Ooh. That's eerie, mate. You're missing half your teeth. This reminds me a lot of Vinland Saga.
何してる？行くぞ。
Oh, it's real beggars, yeah.
施しなど無意味だ。
Interesting.
天国に行けるなんて私は信じない。
Why? I mean, charity organizations are mostly full of poo, I heard. Because most of the money just disappears. And if you want to do charity, my personal bias, probably biased advice is do it in your community. Like if there is someone, like we had a homeless person in our village and everyone gave money to him and we know why he was homeless. Like he didn't drink, he was just fucked by life and everyone tried to support him a bit and he pulled through. And I do think that is something commendable as hell. But you also can't give your money to everyone you meet. And when I was young, I wanted to give everyone who wanted or who begged for money. And my parents were like, nah, let's not do that. Not because they were like evil or anything, but it's like there were like 10 beggars in the pedestrian area. And then 10 more in the next area, in the bigger city where we sometimes were. And like you can't help everyone in the world, and it's so harsh, and I hated it. I still hate that, but yeah. So I do think in your community you can do a lot of good.
平気で罪を犯す奴らだ。
Why are the beggars sinners though? Yeah, that's very weird.
神が彼らに与えた運命があれ。
I mean, if you argue it like that, yeah, that's probably true from your perspective then. People of means.
もっと多くの記録を持つ者に会わなければ。
Okay.
あっちから出向いてもらう。
Let's see what happens here. Oh, is that a mathematical board that like looked like not theory? Yeah.
者になったりして腕を競
That's funny. Did they really do that? I would love that. That's cool. That's really cool.
彼らは掲示板に難問を持つ。
That's really awesome. Because, okay, I'm sorry, I did... Just 1 second. This one is, I do think, like graph theory, like how many nodes are there? Node theory. I don't know the English word. I think it's node theory. Very cool. And we do have... I mean, this is just circle with angles. Like, it's basically that every angle here is the same. Is it? No, wait, am I talking shit? Let me think.
我々は
What happens here?
この
Oh, is that a mathematical board that like looked like not theory? Yeah.
者になったりして腕を競う。
Let's see what happens here. Oh, is that a mathematical board that like looked like not theory? No, obviously not every angle is the same. But if you connect this line and this line to this arc, it will always be a right angle. What do we have here? Revolutions. I do think this is a Y. Why is there a Y here? It's the origin point. And there is a, I mean, it looks like a celestial body here. It's tilted. I don't know.
私の作成したとびきりの難問
Ooh.
めぼしい掲示板に貼って回ろう
So Yolenta, whatever her name is, will probably solve that. That's awesome.
ここは運だ夕方に落ち合おう
I mean, sometimes you need luck. So. Man, something's gonna happen here. What exactly did she study for? I still wonder. And I still think that Essel will take her research.
されたら天文台論文が表
Yeah, he will take it for his own sister.
コルベさん
や
Is Kolber her superior?
ストハクが褒めてくださったよ
I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I don't trust you, mate. Oh, God. Oh, good God.
本当に
Oh, God, I'm so afraid for her. This can't just go well.
名義は私で出してるし
Yeah. See?
名義
Yeah, obviously. What did you think?
私の名前に変えたけど君の論文なんだから
Yeah, obviously. Like, what did you think?
私の論文コルベさんの名前で出
Why would she assume everything? Like, she's 14. I know that's why. Don't shout at me. I know it's because she's 14 and she's naive, which is a good theme to have for children in shows. But man, it's like, what did you expect? So he stole it. He probably doesn't even realize he stole it. Like, I don't think he's also a bit gullible, I feel, or he's a real asshole. But yeah.
そりゃ当然
当然
Because he's your superior, that's what they sometimes do.
論文なんて誰が読むの
Yeah, see? Like, I mean, that's even worse, but it's like...
それは意識が欠けてるよ
She is. I agree with him, and he's an asshole. She's too naive. But she will learn from this, I hope. Which is some things you have to learn. It's harsh. The world's a harsh place sometimes. It's part of growing up. Sorry, still habit from Evangelion. But it's indeed a thing. And you get stabbed in the back if you're naive. You will. And at least this was in, like, she's not having it worse now. That can happen as well, so.
女性の名前で発表なんて危険すぎる
Yeah, politics again. Yeah,
すぐ魔女扱いされて
exactly. Again, witchcraft wasn't that big a deal, I think, if I recall correctly. Like, again, there are cases, obviously, but it's blown out of proportion a lot, I've heard. And again, if I'm incorrect about that, correct me in the comments and give some examples or numbers. That would be awesome, because this is just heresy for me, so.
私は絶対起こさせない
He thinks he's the hero. He thinks he's the hero. Yeah. He thinks he's the hero.
されれば助手の君を安全に天文台
What an asshole. So he's also pressuring her with pseudo kindness, which is a nasty move. It's also interesting that it's contrary to Badeni. I'm sorry, I mix up the A and A-E. Badeni, because he wants his name on it as well. It's interesting, and she wants her name on it as well. I like that as well.
私なら君を正しい
I do think he believes what he says as well. It's so fucked.
私の名前は
Yes, it will be erased.
この世はそういうもんだから
I mean, in the end, no name survives. No name survives history. No name. There are names that survive longer than others, but in the end, your actions reverberate through history, not your name. For anyone, you just have to go to the future far enough. And even that will fade. It's like the universe will fade one day. Like heat death or whatever. They're still debating on that. But, that's the truth. And in that scale, I do think what people mean when they say this is, I want people in the generations to come to remember me because that means I've influenced them and they know who I was and can honor me. And there is a selfish idea in that. And I'm not saying it's incorrect. I would like that as well. Like I would like for people to remember my name, but it's also it's a selfish thought, and I know that. But I do think it's a reasonable thought as well. It's a very natural thought. So it's like, it's not despicable or anything. It's just like, it's selfish, but in a not negative way. I do think it drives people forward. But realistically, your name will fade. Will she hit him here? I hope, yeah.
自分の書いたものを発表できるだけマシだ。
Yeah. I mean, at least people will read her thoughts. I mean, people will not read my thoughts that much. So check out my web novel. But jokes aside, that's exactly what the thing is. I would rather people read my novel and not know who I am because it is published under a pseudonym than not reading it and like two people knowing who I was writing it. It's like, I want to move people with the things I write, for example, and also with the things I publish. I don't need to be the first author. For example, if I do something with a student of mine, like for a PhD thesis or master's thesis, I always put the name first because for me, it's not that important. And I've been put first as well on papers. And I do think that's respect as well. And she isn't put first here. She's not put at all. But it's a very fascinating thing.
君がそんなに純粋じゃ。
Yeah, it worries me too. But she will grow up
また書けたら持ってきてね。
because he assumes she will do a next one. Oh, he heard that. That's unfortunate for you, mate. That's really unfortunate for you. Oh, that's good. I like that.
論文を君が書いたと言ったか?
That's so good. I like that, man. I really admire that they put this in. I want her to succeed. Because I want her to succeed. I like her. I mean, she's a likable character.
あの
Won't she do it?
でもいざって時
That's the thing. It's basically Raphael's situation, but not with the dire immediate consequences. But the path is unconventional, let's say it like that. It is the idea of treading. I hope that's the right word. An unknown, unconventional path and the risks about that. And there are risks. You can fall down a side you didn't see. I hope she will say.
目立つな。
Will she go against her father as well?
人生って軽く終わるよ。
I mean, Raphael didn't give a shit.
論文なんて誰が読むの?
I would just do it to stick it up to him here or whatever you say. But again, it's reasonable. Like, I know, like if I would just watch this on my own, I would be like, yeah, fuck that. They're assholes. Fuck them. And I still also think that. But it's taking a step back and diving into this more than I would normally do on a personal watch. I would say they have points. They are not correct, but they point out dangers that are real to her. And I like that, so.
私のものではない
Interesting choice. That is an interesting choice. I like that we don't see her face as well. That's also very unconventional writing. I like that.
Yeah.
That is the problem, though. I can't assess the situation enough here from my comfort chair, obviously. But they might have been right about this. She might have ended up on the pyre, and not everyone wants that, or at least not everyone is content with it, like Raphael was, because Raphael was the Chad. Like, that was incredibly self-sacrificing, obviously, but you can't have every character be like that, and I really like that they made her do this. I hope she will still earn some recognition somehow, because I really like her.
私ははめられたんだ。
Yeah, but you didn't stand up for yourself though.
さんは悪い人だったんだ。
He is though, but I would also argue you had your chance now. And you didn't take it. So it's on you a bit as well. It is on her, in that she's responsible for saying it wasn't her. They gaslit her, I know, but she is in part responsible for not being recognized here. So her desire to be recognized was not as big as her desire to be safe. And that is perfectly reasonable. Perfectly reasonable. But it's how I see it. So let's see if she changes though. Because that would be a good character arc to have.
だけ良かったか。
That's sometimes true, yeah.
本当に私をかばった。
And I believe in part he is, but he also gaslit the fuck out of her here. Yeah. It's a cruel world.
冷静に考えるんだ。
Also, she's 14. What's she supposed to do? Like, a lot of pressure on her.
世界がこうならうまい動き方。
Life, I like the parallels to Rafal.
次は何を書こう。次は。
I like that she is like, yeah.
そんな必要ない。
Yeah.
か泣いたらまるで問題が。
I like that as well. That's psychologically very accurate. I do think I talked about that in this reaction series. I sometimes talk about it, so if you've heard it from me, I will unfortunately repeat it. But I mean, for those who are new, the thing is with rationality, and I will always repeat that, it is nested on top of affective ideas and emotions and properties. So in the end, you are a slave to your emotions and not to your cognition in the end. Like, you cannot override them. And if you do, if you pressure them down, if you try to bury them, they will burst forth again. And the longer and deeper you bury them, the stronger they get back out and get you. And that's what happens here. So I really like that depiction of what would happen realistically. If she buries that with her rationality and tries to put away with it, it will come back to haunt her and make these emotions surface, even though she might not even realize why. Because her body is telling her a truth that her mind hasn't accepted yet. And I really like that writing. I also like the water. It's really beautiful. So she will solve the problem now. I can't wait to see what she's going to do next. Awesome. So you could also argue God wants all of this to happen, so we get heliocentrism.
宇宙論について要件あり。
And again, a child's doing it. I like that because children, in fact, are extremely creative. It diminishes when you grow up.
なるほど。掲示板。
I do think it's because you don't have the luxury to be creative anymore in some parts. And it's also because creativity might be linked to emotions as well. And when you grow up, your prefrontal cortex just is too strong. Though that's just a hypothesis I have currently. Like, I made that up just now, but I do think it might be a thing. I would need to read it up. Because creativity is one of the extremely hard to do research on things. And there are very few tests that can actually test your creativity. The best one I know is, here's a brick, tell me as many possible applications for this brick, just the brick. And if you come up with like 7, you're creative. If you come up with 1, you're uncreative. And it connects to intelligence, but it's not the same. And it's hard to measure. Yeah. And it's hard to define. So, yeah. But it's interesting. I would love to do research down the line on it. So what are you going to do now? Ooh, that's pretty... why would he not let you observe them? Why would he not allow her to have those? Because she could write his papers as well. I don't know if they were a thing here. I don't think they were, but like his research, she could write that. And he could even filter it with having more understanding of the political background and how safe it would be. You know what I mean? So. yeah, she's doing something against society's norms, which might be bad or not. Like, it's hard to say.
でもこれで新しい論
Also, a treatise might be a paper, and it's not a treaty. I might misunderstand those words because I'm not a native speaker, so it might be that treatises are like research journals. So,
コルベさんからすら見放されるという
lots of pressure. Her second choice.
これは良くない。やめよう。
I also like this idea of what is wrong morally. Because what you think is wrong might be different from what society thinks is wrong. And neither of the two might be right. It's a very complicated thing. And from our more modern perspective, I would say society here is wrong by not utilizing cognitive resources, by undermining her position based on her sex. But in those times, there are different reasonings, and I do think it's hard to judge because it's just different culture, basically. It's like judging another country. And you could do that, I think. I would argue you can judge countries and compare them if you set criteria. So, but I do think that's something we have to keep in mind here. That and also that society is a part of you as well, in cognitively or like psychologically, because you know the norms of your society, and if you abandon them, you might be hurt or others might. At least that's the premise. So, do you fly too close to the sun now? So she did it. That's nice. I love that, man. I really like those three. I do hope they have some more character time and don't horribly die next episode.
今朝貼ったばかりだぞ。
Slurp, slurp, slurp. Let's post it. I'm so cool. I really think she's cool. I'm not exaggerating. It's so cool.
ね、さすがに男性名にしたし。いや、
That's awesome.
こんなこと繰り返してたら。
Yeah, I do think what she's doing are seasons. I mean, because seasons are caused by the tilt of the Earth. Many people think seasons are caused by the distance to the sun. That's wrong. On the at least on my hemisphere, on the northern hemisphere, the Earth is closer to the sun in winter than in summer. In summer, it's farther away. So it's the tilt, because if the tilt, depending on how the light is, like if the Earth tilts like this, oh god, this is so shitty. I don't know if the Earth tilts like this, there is more time in the light when it revolves. Like a dot on the surface will be longer in the light, and if the Earth tilts like this, it will be longer in the day. Or I don't know if I confused them right now, but that's basically the promise. I also do hope you learned that in school, so I will not that's basic knowledge. I hope that's primary school knowledge or 6th grade, but you still might not have known it. It's not bad. It might just happen. So we do have meetup. Yeah, whatever. Fine. I'm gonna watch the next one now. But that was awesome. That was really awesome. I really like it. I really like the Yolanta character as well. Oh god, next episode is called We Must Become Icarus. Oh god, are they gonna burn next episode? I don't want them to die like them. But I know people can die in this show that are main characters, which I like. I like that feeling is like. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell me what you thought of the things I said. Also, the things I wasn't sure about. I'm very curious to hear your answers. And I will see you in the next one. Take care of yourself. Bye.